What if I told you that one of America's greatest presidents almost never married the woman who would become his life's greatest love? Abraham Lincoln's romance with Mary Todd was filled with heartbreak, a broken engagement, and a love so complicated it nearly destroyed them both before creating one of history's most fascinating presidential partnerships. In the winter of 1839, Springfield, Illinois was a small frontier town where ambitious young men came to make their fortunes. Among them was Abraham Lincoln, a lanky 30-year-old lawyer with a reputation for storytelling and an awkward charm that both attracted and puzzled people. That winter, at a cotillion dance, Lincoln met Mary Todd, a vivacious 21-year-old from Kentucky who had come to live with her sister. Mary Todd was everything Lincoln was not. She came from a wealthy, established family, was well-educated, socially polished, and had her pick of suitors. She was short and plump where Lincoln was tall and gaunt, refined where he was rough around the edges, and confident in social situations where he often felt uncomfortable. Yet when they met on that dance floor, something sparked between the unlikely pair. Lincoln, usually tongue-tied around women of Mary's social standing, found himself drawn to her quick wit and political intelligence. Mary, despite having wealthier and more socially acceptable suitors like Stephen Douglas, was fascinated by Lincoln's mind and his passionate discussions about politics and human rights. She saw something in this humble man that others missed, the potential for greatness. Their courtship was anything but smooth. Lincoln's humble origins and uncertain financial prospects made him an unlikely match for someone of Mary's background. Her family disapproved, and Lincoln himself struggled with feelings of inadequacy. He was known to suffer from what we now might call depression, which he called the hypo, and his melancholy moods often made him withdraw from social situations. Despite these challenges, their relationship deepened through 1840 and 1841. They shared a love of poetry, particularly Robert Burns, and would often recite verses to each other. Mary encouraged Lincoln's political ambitions when he doubted himself, and Lincoln found in Mary someone who truly understood his intellectual pursuits and moral convictions about slavery. But on January 1, 1841, something went terribly wrong. The exact details remain a mystery, but Lincoln broke off their engagement, apparently believing he could never provide Mary with the life she deserved. Some historians suggest he had second thoughts about marriage itself, while others believe external pressures from Mary's family played a role. The breakup devastated both of them. Lincoln fell into such a deep depression that friends feared for his mental health. He later wrote to his law partner that he was the most miserable man living. Mary, meanwhile, was publicly humiliated and heartbroken, watching other suitors court her, while the man she truly loved seemed lost to her forever. For nearly 2 years, they avoided each other in Springfield's small social circles. Both dated other people. Lincoln had a brief relationship with Sarah Rickard, while Mary entertained other suitors. But friends noticed that neither seemed truly happy, and their mutual friend Eliza Francis began quietly working to reunite them. In 1842, Mrs. Francis arranged for Lincoln and Mary to meet again at her home, supposedly by accident. The reunion was awkward at first, but gradually they began to rebuild their relationship. This time, they met in secret, knowing that Mary's family would not approve and that their previous breakup had caused enough public speculation. Their secret courtship rekindled slowly but surely. Lincoln had matured during their separation, becoming more successful in his law practice and more confident in his abilities. Mary had also grown, developing a deeper understanding of what she truly wanted in life. When they rekindled their romance, it was with a more realistic understanding of each other's flaws and strengths. On November 4, 1842, they shocked Springfield society by marrying on short notice. The wedding was so hastily arranged that Lincoln had to borrow a ring, and Mary wore a simple white dress rather than an elaborate gown. When asked where he was going that morning, Lincoln reportedly replied, "To hell, I suppose," showing his characteristic dry humor even on his wedding day. Their marriage was passionate but turbulent. Mary supported Lincoln's political career ambitions fiercely, often pushing him when his natural modesty held him back. She managed their household and raised their 4 sons while Lincoln traveled for his law practice and later his political campaigns. Mary's quick temper and Lincoln's periodic melancholy created tensions, but their fundamental love and respect for each other endured. Mary proved to be Lincoln's most trusted political advisor. She had excellent instincts about people and politics, warning Lincoln about individuals who would later prove disloyal. When Lincoln ran for president in 1860, Mary was instrumental in his campaign strategy and helped him navigate the complex social demands of political life. As First Lady during the Civil War, Mary faced enormous pressures. She was criticized for her spending on White House renovations while the country was at war, and for holding seances to contact their deceased son, Willie. The loss of their son in 1862 devastated both parents, with Mary falling into a depression that worried Lincoln greatly. Throughout the war's darkest moments, Mary remained Lincoln's confidant and emotional anchor. She understood the terrible burden he carried and provided him with the personal support he needed to lead the nation through its greatest crisis. Lincoln, in turn, defended Mary against her critics and appreciated her intelligence and political insights. Their love story was tested by the ultimate tragedy on April 14, 1865. When John Wilkes Booth assassinated Lincoln at Ford's Theater, Mary was holding his hand. Her grief was so overwhelming that she never recovered, spending her remaining years in mourning clothes and struggling with mental illness. Abraham Lincoln and Mary Todd's love story wasn't perfect. It was complicated, passionate, and sometimes painful. But it was real, and it produced a partnership that helped save the American Union. Their relationship shows us that true love isn't about finding someone perfect, but about finding someone who makes you want to be the best version of yourself. Mary once said of their relationship, "We understood each other perfectly," and perhaps that understanding, built through heartbreak and reconciliation, was what made their love strong enough to endure the pressures of leading a nation through its darkest hour. Their story reminds us that the greatest love stories aren't always the easiest ones, but they're often the most meaningful.